Assalamu alaikum, may peace be upon all of you. I'd like to talk today about the difference between a theory of evolution and the theorem of evolution, because I was like I ran to a couple of people recently, and they were confused about, and they're claiming that there is a contradiction between Islam and the theory of evolution, but that's actually not the case, and I'd like to share my thoughts with you. So I'm not gonna talk about explicitly what the theory of evolution is claiming, and what Islam is claiming, but instead I'll take a different approach. The theory of evolution is actually a theory. It's not really a theorem. And the difference between a theory and a theorem is that a theory is a way to model the nature. It's a way to understand how and to facilitate the understanding of how nature is behaving. However, a theorem is something that needs to be proven. It's something that has a proof and it cannot be disproved once it is proven. So that's the difference between a theory and a theorem. A theory has actually multiple theorems. It does not contain a single theorem, but a theorem does not have multiple theories. So it's actually one contained inside the other. So when you think of a theory, you could think of theory of gravity, theory of what else? Theory of relativity, theory of atomic structure that pretty much describes the atom and how that it has a nucleus or whatever the theory is saying. The theory of communication that explains how the channel is modeled. All of these are called theories. They are not called theorems, and actually they are exactly like the theory of evolution. They explain how we could think of our and how we could understand nature. So, for example, the theory of gravity, it explains how we could think of celestial bodies and how they are pretty much like any other bodies that could emit or could emit some sort of gravitational waves, like a magnet, for instance, that has some sort of magnetic field. So this theory of gravity explains that the the celestial bodies have gravitational fields. All of these theories have one unique thing in common, which is that they cannot be disproven and they cannot be proven. So it is basically a property of a theory. That's why it's called a theory, not a theorem, because it cannot be proven and it cannot be disproven. It is a way of understanding. Perhaps you might say it is an accurate way or an inaccurate way, but you cannot say that this is a wrong way or a correct way. It is just one of the ways to understand the systems. And actually, the theory of evolution is one way of understanding how living organisms are created and how they are. I have to be careful, of course, by the word created, because some will not agree with what I'm saying. So yeah, the theory of evolution describes how people are found in this universe, and it is claiming that somehow that it is due to some sort of evolution, and this is just a way of understanding. It is not a claim that this is the only way that these living organisms, which is are us, have been created, but it's just a way that it understands. It facilitates the understanding. And actually, if you look at this theory, it has the reason why it had this good reputation is because among the research scientists is because it was kind of a little bit accurate in the sense that it explained a way of understanding living organisms are created, and based on these assumptions, a lot of theorems have been developed and have been proven to be correct based on these assumptions. So whether you're going to accept these assumptions or not, you need to understand that this is just a theory. It is not contradicting with what Islam is saying. So another example about the difference between a theory and a theorem is, for example, the theory of atomic structure that explains the atom and explains that it has a nucleus and it has some sort of electrons rotating on outside these nucleus. This theory is actually pretty accurate, and everybody is taking it for granted. Although it is just a theory, it cannot be proven. You cannot claim that the theory of nucleus is correct. Nobody has ever seen that the electrons are rotating outside the nucleus, and the nucleus has that many protons and these many neutrons. But in fact, the theory, this is how the theory is modeling how the nucleus and how the materials are behaving. And even if it does have a lot of applications, it might still have some flaws. So, for example, one of the well-known flaws in this theory of atomic structure is the flaw of the electron. Is it a particle or is it a wave? And this is a very known controversial argument between scientists, and people have actually, although the theory of atomic structure does not explain whether the electron is a particle or is a wave. However, it is still being widely accepted by everybody in the chemical industry and in the chemical and in the material sciences. And the reason is because it provides a lot of improvement and a lot of theorems that has a lot of applications in our daily lives. However, even if it did not facilitate an understanding of whether the electron is a particle or is it a wave, this is still a theory. It is not a theorem that has been proven, and this is why it is okay to find some sort of contradictions between the theory and whatever is really being observed in nature, because by the end of the day it is a theory, not a theorem. I hope this clarifies a little bit the understanding of what a theorem is and what a theory is, because it really makes a lot of difference, and we as researchers have a lot of theories that are being developed, and we should not confuse them with the word theorem. So let me know what you think, and I'll be happy to read your comments. Assalamu alaikum.